Hello from sunny Colorado, everybody. Peter Zion here with a quick coronavirus update. Now, I've got some good news, and then some bad news, and then some, I think, better news. So first, the good news. Last week, the Food and Drug Administration approved the new Johnson & Johnson vaccine formula for the virus. Now, unlike the two vaccines that are already in use in the United States, the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines, the J&J formula is a single shot, once and done formula. You don't need two shots. In addition, it is used by traditional methods of manufacturing, so it's not too difficult to produce. It's actually fairly cheap, and even better, it can be stored in a fridge, which means that any doctor's office, anywhere, any pharmacy, anywhere, anyone who can handle any traditional vaccine program can handle this one. So we're going to see an explosion in the pace of vaccinations in the weeks to come. Even better, the pace of manufacturing for the existing vaccines doubled in the calendar month of February, and it will do so again in March. So you take these three formulas together, and by the time we get to April 1, there will be enough vaccine in the system to vaccinate 130 million Americans. That's not manufactured, that's distributed. Once you eliminate everyone under age 18 who we're not going to vaccinate in the first round, we only have 225 Americans total. So we're going to see just an explosion in the pace of vaccination in the next 4 weeks. That's good because we've got the variants to worry about now. The UK one is far more communicable. That's a problem. The South African one is cross-communicable with rodents, which is a bigger problem because there's mice and rats everywhere. And the third one, the Brazil one, can at least in part bypass pre-existing naturally gained immunity. So if you get coronavirus and you survive, you can still get the Brazilian variant. And collectively, these three variants are going to be the dominant strains in most of the world, the US included, in March. Now, that means we are pretty much guaranteed to have a fourth big wave of cases. But there's a difference between having a fourth big wave of cases and a fourth big wave of deaths. The United States has chosen to prioritize the vaccination of people aged 60 and older, a process which I might add is over half done already. What that means is when these variants get here, the people who are most vulnerable to them will already be safe. So we probably won't have a fourth big wave of cases. Now, you should still probably be a little careful for the next calendar month at least. But the worst of this for the United States is probably behind us. Now, all of the virus manufacturers are working on new formulas in order to manage these new variants. And those formulas should be available as booster shots in the fall, probably October. This is good and bad news. For the United States, it means not only is the worst behind us, but we're going to be able to keep it behind us. But for every booster shot an American gets, that's one less shot that is going to be available for someone else in the world. And while there are only 330 million Americans, there are nearly 8 billion people on this planet. So we're not going to be able to have most of the rest of the first world inoculated before the end of the year, and the developing world until the end of next year. And because of that Brazilian variant, we now know that even if you achieved herd immunity, like was the strategy in places like India and Brazil and Sweden, you now have to do it all over again, and maybe again after that. So the United States will do a little vaccine diplomacy, help out our neighbors in Canada and Mexico, and North America writ large should be done with this for good by July. For the rest of the world, we are only halfway through, maybe not even. So we are perfectly capable of having a mass recovery on the North American continent. But nobody else starts this year. Everybody else won't start till next year. Okay, that's it from me today. Everybody stay safe, get your vaccine as soon as you possibly can, and be aware of the simple fact that by the time we get to mid-April, these things will probably be available on demand, walk-in the United States, and I can't wait for that to happen. Take care, everyone.